Hey, Russell Leeds here, and I'm going to be talking today about one of the most important things that I look for whenever I'm starting a new business. I mean, right now we've got the coronavirus, everyone's in lockdown, so it's crazy times. But if I'm starting a new business, I need to be able to do this thing, and that is, I need to be able to replicate my business. When you set up your own business, there's so much to do. You know, people think, oh, I'm an accountant, I've been trained as an accountant, I've worked as an accountant, I'm going to set up a business as an accountant. But what actually happens is that you end up doing the accounts, yeah, but that's probably like 30% of the job. You've got to do the sales, you've got to do the marketing, you've got to be the customer service team, you've got to do the operations, you've got to do all the other stuff as well as the actual accounting. And it is a nightmare. Self-employed people, they have to work really, really hard. I read a book by an English entrepreneur called Brad Burton. He said, the great thing about being self-employed is that you get to choose which 18 hours a day that you work. You know, it is a tough job. So for me personally, if I'm starting a business, I want to replicate it. I want to replace myself. I don't want to be doing all those jobs. So how do you replicate your business? A couple of tips for you. First of all, make a list of all the jobs that you do. Everything you do in the business, write it down. And you're going to put together like a manual for how you do absolutely everything in the business. And then start replacing things that you're maybe not so good at. So it might be a lot of people aren't very good at the finances. So bookkeeper is a great person to get early on in your business, or a personal assistant that can do some of the smaller jobs. People are scared, people don't like doing this. Entrepreneurs, because they like control. I don't know whether you're like this, but most entrepreneurs, there's even sayings, people say stuff like, oh, if you want a job doing properly, you need to do it yourself. I hate that saying. Because the problem with that saying is, it means you've got to do all the work. I don't want to be doing all the work in my business. I want to replicate it. I want to bring people in that can do what I do. And if you get really good, you want to bring people in that can do it better than you can. So when you're recruiting people, you're employing people that are better at doing the jobs than you are actually doing it. But to begin with, you want to work on your manual. So write down all the different jobs that you possibly do, everything that you do. And then start little by little bringing in people to replace those jobs. So let me give you an example. My very first business when I was about 20 years old was a children's entertainment business. And when I started, I used to do everything. Of course, like all entrepreneurs, did all the jobs, sales, marketing, etc., etc., etc. The first thing that I replaced doing was the kids' parties themselves. So what I did was I brought people on to do the kids' parties. Now I've written down, it's actually in my book, The Entrepreneur's Blueprint, this example, but I've written down, I'll go through the figures with you here, right? So most children's entertainers can do about 4 parties over the weekend. So if I did all the parties myself, I would charge 180 quid, 180 quid times 4, I can make about 720 quid on a Saturday, Sunday doing those parties, right? However, what I realised is if I hired an entertainer to do it for me, someone that I trained, I wrote down exactly what you do, like the manual I was just talking about, I gave them my show, I trained them up, got them doing it instead. Quite a bit of work in the beginning, but I send them out and I used to pay them £77 doing the party. I used to make £77 when they did the party rather than 180. So 77 times 4 is 308. So with one entertainer, I'm now making less money than I would if I did the parties myself. But if you can replicate the business, I can then bring on more. So if I bring on 2 entertainers, I'm now making 616. That's pretty much as much money as I was making when I was doing them, and now I'm not doing anything over the weekend. If you keep replicating though, we ended up with about 50 entertainers, £77 times 4 times 50 is 15,400. Now there is no way that I would be able to make 15,400 doing parties on my own. It's just physically impossible. I have to be doing them like all the freaking time. But that's the power of bringing on other people. If you can replicate it, if you can take it so it's not just you and get other people to do the work, suddenly you can grow and you can scale. So whenever I'm starting a business, I'm always thinking, is there a way I can replicate this? Can I do it in such a way that I can bring other people on, I can replace myself so I don't have to do the work, but I can continue to get paid. That will allow you to focus on the growing and the marketing. It's hard to say stuff about the marketing, but the growing and the marketing of the business, and you can slowly replace it as you work your way up the ladder. So So one of the really important points, I hope you found this video useful. We're going to be looking at the next 4 points from my 5-step guide starting a new business over the next few weeks. So please do check those out. Don't forget to subscribe. Also comment below if you've got any questions or comments about your business, how you can replicate that. Comment below, I'm more than happy to help, and look forward to seeing you next week.